Guess what day it is? You probably can't even see me. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Race day! Race day! Alright, it's race day. Race morning. Got an international distance triathlon. Half-mile swim, 20-mile bike. 6.2 mile run. 10K. We're up, it's 3:14. We got up 10 minutes ago, to be fair. But honestly, slept. Wait, let me see what my watch says. Morning report. It's too early to even get the morning report yet, but I don't feel like I slept like that bad. I don't think I don't remember what time I went to bed. It was like 9 o'clock. So not terrible. Not too terrible, but I don't feel like I slept too bad. So we gotta leave here by 4:30. It's an hour drive to get to Fort DeSoto. Tis where the race is at. So things I gotta do. I'm gonna make my bed, and then I need to prep my bottle for the bike. I'm gonna put carbs in there. Carbs that already have electrolytes in there, but I'm gonna add electrolytes probably, or I will. But I'm also gonna put a little bit of sodium bicarbonate in there, and then I also got pre-workout. I feel like using caffeine is something I never really utilized in races until that half marathon. All my gels were caffeinated. I used it in a marathon in the past, but I don't really want to use caffeine a bunch. So like I drink coffee in the mornings, and otherwise I don't ever have caffeine. But for races, why not utilize it? Especially when I don't use it really at all, other than the coffee in the morning. It's going to be that much more effective because I don't really have a huge tolerance, especially like I used to when I used to be in the gym. Like I bought that tub of pre-workout yesterday. I haven't bought pre-workout in many years, but I'm going to utilize it for races. So I'm going to it's 200 milligrams per scoop. Probably put 2 scoops in there. So 400, or maybe like 2.5 or 1.5 or something, but do that. I got all my stuff packed up already. Just gotta I'll put the aerosuit on before I get in the car. Bring a change of clothes, but biggest thing is just pack up the car. Put the bike in the car. The bike's ready. I cleaned it all yesterday. Oiled the chain. Put the disc wheel on there. Charged up the Di2. Charged up the Garmin computer. I don't know if all the Garmin computers are this way, but mine, it's like the Garmin 250 or 55 or 550 Edge, whatever. It fucking sucks. Like, it's great, but it sucks at the same time. I just go, like, the charging is not consistent. You'll be charging it, it'll be like, oh, it's at 20%, and then 30 minutes later, it's still at 20%, and then you, like, plug it in, and unplug it, plug it in, and the percentage is completely different. So then it races, but then it'll still go back down. It'll just crash all the time. It just be crashing. I don't know. It's just really, it gives me trust issues. I already feel like I have that, and this just reinforces it. So yeah, I'm gonna get going about those things. Here's the morning stack. So we've got these beet pills. There's just 4 of them per serving. Good for circulation. Creatine. I'm gonna take electrolytes right now, and then for the bottle for during the race, I'm gonna have raw fuel, carbs. Probably gonna do like 90 grams of carbs. The bike should be around 40-45 minutes, and then I'm gonna put in Gorilla Mode base. Shout out to Derek for more plates, more dates. That's why I got Gorilla Mode. They had it at Walmart. They had raw, like pre-workout, but I was like, Gorilla Mode. Derek for more plates, more dates. If anyone knows who that is, shout out to you. Get this. And then I'll add in some electrolytes as well, to which I will also add, I'm gonna put a little bit of baking soda in the bottle for on the bike, but more so I'm gonna take this pre-race, but I don't want to take it right now because it's 3 in the morning and the race is until 7 a.m. Start wise, so you're supposed to take it about an hour before, maybe a little over an hour before. But essentially, the sodium bicarbonate acts as a lactic acid buffer, to where it's supposed to buffer lactate, so it helps you clear lactate. It's supposed to not. And I used it for the half marathon, and I feel like it helped. Averaged a 180 heart rate for that whole thing. So hopefully it'll help for today again. Does kind of fuck with your stomach, so they say. I did wreck my stomach after the half marathon, but I don't know if it's because of the sodium or what. I'm gonna actually look that up right after this clip. But that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna drink that, I'm gonna prep that, I'm gonna have coffee as well. Cold brew from the French press. How much caffeine is in it, I have no idea. But I'm gonna drink it, and then hopefully I'll go to the bathroom as well. Hello there. All right, we're in the car. Got the bike inside. I have a roof rack, so like these suction cup mounts where I can put the bike on top of my car, but I've never had any issues with it, and I've had it for years, but I've never put this bike on there, and it just makes me feel better to have it in the car. Because anytime I do put the bike up there, like when I had my Cervelo, there's always in the back of your head, you're like, ah. Even though, like driving home from Panama City, that Ironman, that was like 7 hours, I had the bike up there the whole time, and it was fine. But still, it's a worry that I don't really care to worry about. So, got the bike in the car, makes me feel better. Car's packed up, we're driving. We got ETA 5:32, that's perfect. Have to get there between 5:30 and 6 a.m. After 6 a.m. the gate closed, so you can't get in there anymore. But 5:32, that's spot on. Yeah, clear roads, cruising, gotta love it. See you when I get there. Alright, we're here. I'm having deja vu when I did the sprint, not a year ago, close to a year ago. I did it in August, but feels like a year ago. But we got to Fort DeSoto, the gates are still closed. I don't know if they open at like 5:30, I guess. But there's just a fat ass line of cars, and then you can just watch them in my mirror. The line just built. But we're here, so I don't feel nervous. If anything, I feel excited, and honestly, I feel confident. I'm like just ready to rip. Hopefully, I'll win, or definitely gonna come top 3. I feel like I can say confidently top 3 for sure. Win, up in the air, but I want to. That's my goal, is to try to win. Real goal, podium. I guess true goal. Build some confidence in myself, have some fun, kick some ass, but then get on the podium, and then hopefully we can win it, but whatever. Either way though, I kind of have to piss, not too bad, but if I have to go bad, I'm gonna go pee in this line. I'm gonna walk into the woods. But yeah, let's go, baby. Bike is in that transition area. It's like right next to my car, so I'll be coming in, I'll see my car. Everything's good to go. I was at the bike shop recently, and the guy was like, you better make sure that it's you can use a disc wheel in this race, because some of them don't allow it. And then I was kind of the only one for a while. I was like, I don't see anybody else with a disc wheel, so hopefully that's not allowed, because I didn't bring the other one. But there's a couple other people with disc wheels, so I was kind of worried for like 5 seconds, for like 5 minutes, but then we're good to go. Bike computer's on, the workout started, it's just paused. Everything calibrated the pedals. And so I should be able to just get to the bike, just tap it on, and then everything will reconnect, hopefully, as long as everything works correct. And then we'll be good to go. Took some sodium bicarbonate, like at this point, like 30 minutes ago, but it should be good by the start at 7. It's 6:27 right now. Bike bottle's good. I'm good. One of the things I learned during the Ironman was I got ready way too early. So now I have 30 minutes. I'm gonna sit in my car, turn the AC on, and just chill. Maybe 2nd overall, we did the job. Stomach hurts, gotta do awards. Pack up the car, do awards, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. All right, baby, 2nd overall. I'm happy, but holy shit, I was fighting for my life after I finished that. This ear is clogged. I can barely hear out of it. I don't know if it's the sodium bicarb that is making my stomach that way. My stomach, I just thought I was gonna throw up, and then I was like super lightheaded, and then cramped at my ab. Just flexed it right now, and it was like, thought I was about to cramp, but my ab was cramping like crazy. So I was kind of fighting for my life for a good 30 minutes. Whew. But
I'm zooted. I'm gonna stop at a gas station on the way home and get something to drink. Something cold. I was gonna, right when I finished the race, they had pop in the cooler, so they had Coke and Diet Coke or some shit. I didn't want it, but towards the awards, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a Coke. Let me get a Coke, a nice cold Coke. They put them away. They're like, oh, we already put the coolers away. I'm like, why? Why did you already put the coolers away? I was like, okay, that's okay. I didn't want to drink it anyways, but I wanted to drink it, but I didn't really want to drink it. But I was like, it'll probably be good for me right now. Get a little bit of carbs in me. I feel like talking makes me lightheaded. So, let's drive home. Let's not pass out. Keep this thing on 4 wheels. Woo! Let's go. Top 2. When you get within the top 3 overall, they take you out of the age group standing. So I technically won my age group, but they don't count it. So when they go through like 25 to 29 age group, they're like, whatchamacallit, they just don't, someone else wins it. I'm like, well, I won it, but I don't really give a shit. I just cared about the overall, so happy with it. Let's keep this thing on 4 wheels. Let's not pass out and let's get home. We made it alive. We made it back alive. Okay, I'm gonna get everything in the car, out of the car, into my room. I'm gonna rinse shit off. I'm gonna rinse myself off. And then I'll do a little race recap and that will cut off this video. But hardest part of the day done. We made the drive home, so made it alive. Totally thought I was getting pulled over for a second on the highway. I was driving, everyone's going 80. Like, everyone, when I say everyone, I mean everyone. We're all going 80, and I was literally driving neck and neck with this other car. So then I was like, all right, everyone else is going 80. There's a cop behind me, and I saw him coming in hot, and I was like, I'm getting pulled over. I was like, I'm getting pulled over, no doubt about it. I'm getting pulled over. And then he came up on me, did the ride your ass type of deal. I couldn't tell if he flashed his lights for like half a second or not, or if it was the light or the sun reflecting something, but I was like, I'm getting pulled over. I was already mentally like, I'm getting pulled over. I already know it, I'm getting pulled over. And then he just zerted, beelined off the highway. So I don't know if he was just doing it to be like, hey, slow down, but I was like, everyone else is going the same speed. But either way, I didn't get pulled over, so I was happy about that. And this morning too, I thought there's a cop riding behind me, and I was like, I'm getting pulled over. I'm probably gonna get pulled over. Didn't get pulled over, so it's good. That's good. Bam. All right, baby. So brought home the hardware. So second overall, happy with it. We got the podium or die trying. I wanted to get first, and based off of my performance, so hour 45, 17 seconds. The dude that won it in May was an hour 45. I don't know what the seconds were, but we would have been right there. I would have been right there on the win. But the kid that won it, 141, but there's 3 of them. But they had tri-suits that were like, said their country on there. And then I was talking to one of them afterwards. I think it's in Guatemala. I don't remember, but he was like, "Oh, this is just like a training race. They do like Olympic triathlons." I think they're based somewhere out of North Carolina, is what he said, or something like that. But those kids were dogs, so there's no way I was beating that kid. But overall, I'm happy with it. So, yeah. So the half-mile swim, we did it in 12 minutes and 8 seconds. Never started my watch. Didn't even think to get it started. I don't know why. I just never even crossed my mind until I was swimming. I was like, never got the watch going. Which really doesn't matter while you're swimming. I guess you would get a notification, I think, at 500 yards. But I don't know. I wouldn't look at it. It would more so just be like, when I finish the swim, I'd be like, oh, cool, like I did in this time. Didn't really bother me as much. That bothers me in like the Ironman when I forgot to do it. When it's such a big thing, I'm like, I want to know my time. For this, I was like, I don't really care. And I didn't have any time goals going into this other than like, I just wanted to win. So I didn't really give a shit what my time was. I was like, I see the leaders. and that's where I'm headed. So I think I came out of the water in 4th. They did a time trial start, but we all started I probably started within 20 seconds of the dude that started first. So I do wish they would have just started this all together, because there wasn't, there's a lot of us, but I don't know, I would rather they just start us together. Or they can ask, if you want to do a group start, you guys can do, I don't know, whatever. But I wish we would start together, because I feel like it would make the race more fun. Because when you're time trialing, you're like, I could technically be ahead of this guy even though I'm behind him. I wish it was just together. But I think I came out of the swim in 3rd or 4th. I did come out in 4th. But again, you're like, am I really in 4th, or am I in 3rd? Or am I in 5th? Who knows? But, so I came out on the bike, and then I couldn't see the dudes in 1st and 2nd by the time I got on the bike. It's a long swim, or a long jog to the little transition area, and you're running through the sand. Just trying to get the heart rate down. Newsflash, never came down after the swim. My average heart rate on the bike was 175, but literally right when I started it, 170, whatever. I was like, it just would not go down. Because my average power on the bike the normalized power was 245, average was just 240. I was shooting for 250 to 260. Honestly, 260 to 270 was the number I was going for. And when I would push that power, it felt fine. And when I was sitting throughout that bike, I was like, I feel fine, but the heart rate was not. And I was like, okay, I know, sure, maybe I necessarily feel fine, I feel controlled, which was weird. But I was like, my heart rate's high. I don't want to burn myself out right now. But I was also, I don't know. I wasn't too worried about heart rate being in the 170s, because I was like, I feel fine. Even though, I was doing some, I don't know, the heart rate is usually not that high pushing that power. It would be lower at that power, but it was hot, humid. You just came off of a swim, obviously. But, yeah, so I think there was more in there on the bike, but that's fine. It was 2 loops. The first loop was fast, felt good. The second loop, it was kind of nice because all the people doing the sprint, they start coming out. So then you're basically just drafting off all of them going around them. So it felt, I think, faster. Specifically on the way back, because you're working with a decent little headwind. But by the time I was coming back on my second loop, you're already kind of ahead of all the people doing the sprint. So there wasn't a lot of drafting, whereas there was on the way out of the second lap. Was this a draft legal race? I don't really know, if I'm being honest, but I was doing it. But I wasn't sitting in behind people. I was just coming up on them, passing them, coming back in, and then catching the slipstream. It felt like I was in an F1 car. That's why I like the bike. I just feel like I'm driving an F1 car. I'm like, I catch the slipstream, get back in. It's just fun. Average 25, just under 26 miles an hour on the bike, which is cool. At least that's what the thing says. I think we got the fastest bike split. No, we did. I did. My swim was 9 out of 57, which is not surprising. Bike split was 1 out of 57. My run was 2nd out of 57, I guess. So, as we all know, swimming is my Achilles heel. So, but I'm getting better at swimming. Averaged 122 per 100 in the ocean. I wouldn't say it was... I was happy with how straight I swam in the swim. I was proud of that. I was like, you're swimming straight. Whereas in the Ironmans, I felt like I was just kind of all over. You're just kind of back and forth a little bit. More so with Jacksonville, because it was hard to... I panicked, it was hard to see and stuff like that. So I was proud of just I swam straight. I don't feel like I swam any extra bits. So that was cool. I was happy about that. But yeah, coming off the bike, onto the run, felt fine. 2 loops for the run as well. First loop, I felt like I was nursing stomach cramps. And I was like, if I go too fast, my stomach's going to explode. So I feel like I was nursing stomach cramps. Average pace for the run was 6:43. This thing says, or the race says it was 6:39. Garmin says 6:43. I would trust this over the race one. But Um, yeah, I felt like the first loop I was just nursing stomach cramps, and then I was kind of hoping that they would go away, and it did. And then I was hoping it would go away, and then I would be able to speed up the second loop. But then by the time they kind of went away, I was like, I just literally sat at like a 6:43 mile was the average. Like, I think the slowest I got to was a 6:50. I don't know what my mile splits were, but like the slowest pace I saw was 6:50 something, and then towards the end you pick it back up. So I pretty much just was pretty consistent with my pace the entire time. I was kind of hoping for more, but not bad. That's pretty much it. I knew it was fun doing this race and going to actually race against people and not to race for a time, because it makes it not as, it almost makes you care less in a way about all the little external factors of like, oh, it's hot, or oh, I'm not going to do as well because this, or I'm just not feeling that good or something. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, it's this tangible thing of like, these people are right here. I can just go race them. Whereas when you're going for a time, you're like, oh, I'm not feeling good today, so there's definitely more on the table. And I do think there's more on the table for this race. Maybe just needs better weather, cooler weather, and it would have been a bit better or something, but I think it would be better for everybody, hands down. But but it doesn't really bother me. I don't really care, because this isn't a true Olympic distance triathlon. People were saying Olympic, but to my knowledge, an Olympic distance is either a 24 or 26 mile bike, and then the swim's a little bit longer than a half mile, I'm pretty sure. So I wouldn't call this an Olympic distance, so I don't really give a shit about the time. I would care more if it was an Olympic distance, because you'd be like, oh, this is where I stack up against like people doing it in the Olympics. But I don't really care about the time for this. It doesn't really mean much to me. It's good like data to be like, oh, for 20 miles I biked to this. But that's about it. I just wanted to get on the podium. Wanted to win, but that kid, I think his name was David, something like that. Dog, killer. Younger than me. Speaking of young, there's a kid, he's probably like 10 years old. I saw him on the bike, and then I saw him on the run. That shit fires me up. I was most excited seeing him. He was on the bike, so when I passed him when we were going, I was like, let's go. And then I saw him twice on the run, and I kept cheering him on. He was smiling. He was getting them all fired up. I love seeing that. I love seeing a young kid like that grind. That honestly made me the most happy over anything else during the day, was seeing that kid just fucking grind. He looks good. He looks strong. I was like, you look better than 90% of all the people out here. So that honestly fired me up. I loved seeing that little kid grinding. That was cool. Because when I saw him the first time on the bike, it was on my first loop, and when I was coming back, he was coming out. I was like, yo, this fucking kid. So then on my second loop, when I was coming back passing him, I was like, this fucking guy's a beast. He's a beast. I was like, let's go. The second time I saw him on the run, he was like kind of laughing when I was smiling and laughing, because he was like, huh. But I was like, you're a fucking beast. You're a fucking beast. Love that. Yeah, it got hard at the end. I saw a dude like pass out. I didn't actually see him fall, but I kind of saw him. I didn't see his initial fall, but I saw one of his falls. I think he passed out during the run and just literally face planted on the pavement, because his face was all, not all the way down, but right here was all bloody. And then I kind of saw him get dragged off, or kind of carried off, and then he kind of did it again in the grass. But it was hot. It got pretty hot pretty quick. It was humid. We all know it's going to be humid. It's Florida. So you're getting there in the morning, you're like, it's humid, but no shit. But it got hot pretty quick. So on that run, you're like, ooh, it's getting warm. There's just dumping water on my head. I didn't really have the stomach capacity to take in water. I feel like I drank water like twice, barely, like 2 sips. Because I was just, like I said, that first loop, I was nursing stomach stuff. I was like, my stomach just feels a little bit too full. I think I probably overdid it on the carbs on the bike. Probably overdid it on the caffeine too. But yeah, I think I overdid it with the carbs, so it's kind of a lot to take in. 90 grams of carbs in 45 minutes is a lot, especially for me. And I didn't finish the bottle, but I mean, I dumped the rest of it out after the fact, like when I was packing everything up, but there wasn't much left in the bottle, like a very negligible amount. So 90 grams of carbs was a lot to take in the heat, in 45 minutes, all that stuff. So probably should have lowered the carbs and probably my stomach would have felt a little bit better. Or just not drank all of them. Could have done that too. But I took one gel on the run too. So I was like, I don't even feel like, even if I needed it, I was like, my stomach is not going to take it. So I just took a gel right at the start of the second loop, probably like a minute or two into the second loop. I was like, let me just kind of suck on the, take this down a little bit. But yeah, I feel like this was all over the place, but as am I. I feel like the caffeine is making me like, right now. Like I still have the caffeine stuff, but I'm hollow. Like I don't have the energy. I don't have carbs necessarily. All I've had is I had a smoothie. I haven't eaten anything since, and it's 2:24. Race ended at like 9 o'clock, something like that. So you need to get some food in me. Got rice cooking now. Gonna eat some beef, but I'm happy. So project put a race together is complete. The project is complete. So now, we did the half marathon, 127. We're shooting for 125 or below, but heat, humidity, we'll take it. And biggest thing was just give what I have on the day, and we did exactly that. Same thing with this. Get on the podium, give what I have on the day, have some fucking fun, build some confidence. We did that. The overarching theme, the overarching goal, intention behind these two races was to just build confidence back within myself. Because after the marathon and after Jacksonville, I was like, damn, you fucking suck. You fucking suck. So this is nice, kind of, build up that confidence. And now we're shooting for Kona, Ironman Florida, Panama City Beach, November 7th, 2026. That is what is next on the horizon. That is a good chunk of time away. It's July, August, September, October, November. So it's 5 months away. Maybe I could throw in some there's another one of those triathlons in August. I don't really want to do another triathlon before Ironman Florida, I don't think. I think if I were to do a race, it would be some sort of running race, whether it's like another half marathon or definitely not a marathon. But if there was some sort of half marathon that was like, August is still pretty hot, September, maybe very early September or sometime in August, maybe I would do that. July, August, I mean it's mid-July, maybe sometime in end of August, early September, I would do another half marathon just for the shits and gigs. But I don't know. The main focus though is just going to be Ironman Florida and put my head down and get back to training. Getting these big, I think the thing I dread the most is these really long rides, like these, honestly it's the 5 hour ones, 5 hour plus long rides. I think those are what I dread the most. But yeah, coming out of the water, I was like, all right, now that that's done, I survived the swim, time to kick some ass on this fucking bike and run. I feel like that's my mindset, is like, just don't drown, survive the swim. You're not gonna, their saying is like, you're not gonna win the race in the swim, but you can lose it. So I was like, I'm not gonna overdo it. I felt pretty controlled, I felt controlled in the water. Again, I'm actually pretty proud of myself for how that swim went. 122 per 100 in pretty wavy water, but not like insane. But it was wavy for sure. It was fun running in, diving in. It was definitely wavy, not insane, but it was wavy. Swam straight. I'm proud of it. I didn't freak out. I did a little practice swim. The water was murky, but it wasn't like Jacksonville's fucking sewer water. And then, yeah, just happy with how the swim went. Felt controlled in the water, felt controlled swimming. Was tickling some feet, meaning I was swimming on feet for a little bit. And then it was like kind of got spread out. Because obviously the Olympic dude that won it is a good swimmer. His swim split was like a high 9. So I was like, this guy's cooking. And then the 2 people ahead of me, shout out to Alex and Cole. I know Alex is a swimmer, or is a good swimmer. I don't know about Cole, but obviously I would assume he's pretty good because he came out in second. And then, just damage control in the swim, and then make up time on the bike. And I kind of, and then just go into the run. Pretty much all I got. Project Put a Race Together is complete. Project qualify for Kona 2027 and Ironman Florida, Panama City Beach 2026. That's the next goal. That's what we're doing. I feel like I was thinking about this on the drive to the triathlon this morning, and I was like, maybe the next goal after Kona, the next like major goal that would take some time to work towards is like an age group win. Like overall age group win for Ironman. So we'll see. That could be cool. Obviously that would take some time. Like that wouldn't be something that I do for probably some years. I got some work to do. It's cool to see your limits and to reach your limits. I don't necessarily think I reached my full limit today, just given the heart rate stuff, which I guess was from heats. I'm not really sure, but I think there's more in me today on maybe a better day. But it's cool to see your limits and to kind of see like what you've done. But it's equally cool and motivating to like see all the people that are ahead of you, and it can be very like degrading to be like, oh, all these people are so much better. Like, oh, if this guy did it, he would have fucking smoked my ass. And yeah, that can be degrading, but it's also cool because you're like, well, I can get there too. I just need to keep working towards it. I just need to keep working, and I will be there. So that's the motivating aspect of it. Like a lot of the like social media friends that we all follow each other, I'm like, if these guys did it, they would have smoked my ass. Which again, kind of degrading, but at the same time, I'm like, well, the reason they're at the level they're at is because they've been working for longer than I have. And I've only been training probably properly since January with Parker. All my training beforehand was just like, not proper. So with proper training, it hasn't even been a year, and I'm making some good progress. So I'm happy about it. But yeah, it just shows you what you can achieve, or the level that you can get to, too. As long as you believe it. You just gotta believe. Another thing I want to talk about was in the morning though, when I was like picking up my bib and the timing chip and everything, I was like, you guys are looking at the race winner. When I was like picking up the bib, I'm like, I wonder if people think like, oh, I wonder who the winner is. Like when they're handing out the bib, they're like, I wonder if I saw him. I'm like, you're looking at it. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, these people don't even know that I'm the race winner. I didn't win the race, obviously. I got second. And I'm not that cocky. It's not like I was talking about that to other people, but in my head, I'm like, I was just I believed in myself. I was like, I felt good. Didn't feel nervous. Just felt confident. Felt good. Felt ready to go. I was like, the stakes are so low. I was like, I get a flat. Also, I didn't bring any spare stuff for like a flat tire. Like if I get a flat tire, I'm just not going to finish the race. I don't really care. The stakes were very low. So I honestly didn't feel nervous at all. I was just excited and felt like I was ready to rip it. And we did that. So grabbing my bib, I was like, you're kind of looking at the race winner. Just in my head. So that was just what I was saying in my head. Now I'm saying it to YouTube. But it's like little did they know. They're looking at the second place. They're looking at the first loser. If you ain't first, you're last. Ski! All right, I'm gonna stop talking. So have a great day. Get better today. If you're looking for, evidence builds confidence, confidence needs evidence. You're enough, but sometimes to get some confidence, you need a little bit of evidence. Keep going. Have a great day. Get better today, baby.